we are understanding the 4 steps about endurance, which is known as titiksha in Sanskrit. So, titiksha, the world is full of pairs of opposites. You don't know when your honey will get upset with you. We need titiksha. We don't know when our employer or employee get upset. Our kids will get upset with us. We need titiksha, endurance. Why? The mind becomes healthier and stronger. Minimize the influence of external environment, people, and the events. I think I was in my 25 or 26 years old. My dad was always used to be angry, always reacting. So, what you do at the age of 24, 25? You also react. But at the same time, I was going to my master. So, my master used to whisper in my mind, "Oh, mind, be at peace, this will also pass." I did not understand what he meant for it. So I returned home and I said, again, I also reacted against my dad. So I forgot, "Oh mind, be at peace, this will also pass." And it happened almost for 6 and 7 months. Now see that you contemplate and reflect on the principle, what happens. But I was reflecting what the master message is. "Oh mind, be at peace, this will also pass." What will pass? So my mind was focused on my dad's anger, that his anger will also pass. That was a wrong attitude. That is a wrong attitude. And what happened after 6 months, almost 6 months, my dad became angry and something happened within, and I was laughing inside. When I was laughing inside, he became more angry because I did not react. Do you see the point of anger? Anger is supported by the ego. If the other does not react, where your ego is? So there was some kind of a revelation. So I can tell you, first I will speak in Hindi. So my dad told me, "Go upstairs." So that literally means, in Hindi, it also means that go to heaven. So he told me, "Get out, go upstairs." So I was smiling and I said, "Oh, you want me to die and go to heaven?" And he kept quiet and calm. You see, the response came after 6 months. And then I realized the importance of this titiksha, the endurance. One incident. So I realized that there is a very good story. Understand that. Titiksha, you endure pain. You endure insult. You endure likes and dislikes, but without reaction in the mind. That was the message I gave you by that example, that you don't react inside. The mind remains calm in any situation. So there is another story. There is a famous story of a snake that came as a disciple before a master in India. The master advised the snake to practice non-violence. How? By not biting, hurting, or killing anybody. So snake returned to the wise man in 3 days and said, "I don't retaliate at all, but people keep throwing stones at me and bothering me. You told me not to bite, not to hurt, not to kill people." You see, both the stories are related. The saint said, the master said, "I told you that you should not bite anybody. But that does not mean that you should not pretend. as though you are about to hurt or bite someone, particularly when they are bothering you. Are you understanding that point? That is the power of endurance. And I did it. When my son did not listen to me at his young age, I shouted at him. But that shout was a play and a fun for me. But for him, it was a teaching. It was a teaching. So we can use the expression of an anger without becoming an angry to get the things done. And you see that? The sent meant that the snake should not retaliate from within. The moment I retaliate from within, there is a problem, there is a reaction, there is an anger. So the master says that we should be pragmatic, but not aggressive or retaliate. That is the power of titiksha. Now, if some stranger enters into my home without permission, I said, no, I'm practicing titiksha, come. And he is stealing something. I said, okay, I'm practicing. That is not titiksha. We should be very clear about it. We try to practice titiksha to demonstrate to the society that see how good I am. So I'm still building an ego. That is not endurance. That is not endurance. Titiksha has to be done 24/7. And from that one example, that knowledge revealed into me, and I was smiling, so I started reflecting on it. Oh, this is what my master said to me. Oh, mind, be at peace. This will also pass. Next time when I went to my master, I said, I got it. So he said, until you contemplate and reflect on those principles again and again, then only the knowledge reveals in you. That is the power of titiksha. So you see that first part, when you understand, there are 4 parts of the titiksha. The first part we have at the physical level. Normally, you see, we hit somebody in the mall and we say, no, I'm very sorry. I'm extremely sorry. Physical hurt does not have a lot of bearing on the mind, but when it is vocally, when you speak something, then we get an emotional hurt. And what is the best way to do it? Simple way to do it is to avoid gossip, wasteful and unproductive speech. I was, one of my good friend like you organized a dinner in her home in Princeton. So her husband is a staunch Democrat. And so they also invited another student of mine who was a staunch Republican. So there were 15 people, and both the husbands started talking, putting their point of view, and they engaged in fight, and I was sitting in between them. What should I have done? Think of it. I was enjoying inside. I said, this is all a gossip. So the Democrat looked into my eyes so that I should say yes. And the moment he looked into my eyes, I said, do you want a cup of tea? Let me bring it. So I brought a cup of tea for him. And again, the Republican looked into my eyes so that I should support him. I said, no, let me bring a coffee for you. You have to learn that art. so that the mind remains cool and calm. They came for me and they forgot the entire topic. The same thing we should apply, Stephen, to our kids also. Take the world lightly. That is what I have been saying. Nothing is going to happen. We cannot change the world. That is the greatest endurance. With that idea, with that understanding, when you practice endurance, you will see the mind every day, 24/7, remains cool and calm. Now, the things you have to contemplate and reflect. When the second principle in Titiksha says why and how to avoid gossip, wasteful, and unproductive speech, why it is essential to regulate speech which is sweet, useful, and right. So, that is what about the speech endurance and the thought endurance is very important. Extremely important is the thought endurance. We create an image in our mind about people, about our parents, about our kids, about our spouse. Drop that. It happens due to the thought process. I see this, Stephen. And then let me ask my mind, do I create any image about Stephen? Don't create it. Drop it. Drop it. The moment you create that image through the thought process, it is going to be expressed on one day. And that will create a lot of problem. That will create a lot of problem in the life. Understand that in thought, in speech, and in physical action. Say, for example, you have created, say, a thought that brands a person as not understanding, always reactive. Now that image is already present in your mind, and you go to that person. Your body expression will definitely change, and the other person will notice it. Do whatever you want. You cannot remain free. Say, Daniel, if the Daniel boss is crazy, for example. So my mind brands in the thought that he is or she is crazy. And the Daniel goes before him and her. Daniel body expression is bound to change. Outside you say, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. But inside, that expresses in the body. That expresses in the body. So you see that we are going little deeper into the titiksha. The titiksha means the endurance outside. Inside is peace and calm and happiness. I fire sometimes. I fire many a times, especially my students who have been with me for so many years. I shouted at Samir a lot of times. He knows it. But ultimately, we have to see that how should not label any situation outside through the thinking process in our mind. So what should I do? The world has given me an opportunity to evolve. Every problem is a problem seeking harmony and peace. The greatest learning process. I think I'm not naming that women. She used to come to me in India, and she had her husband was totally always reactive, used to beat and slap. So I realized the entire situation. I understood, and I said, learn titiksha. Don't react from inside and also outside. Calm. Just calm. And save yourself from any physical hurt. And it took her 6 months. She is a bank employee in India. So after 6 months, when I realized that now she is living in peace and happiness from inside, then I told her, now you have not to bite your husband, but stand firm. That if you take a physical hurt, I will also do it. Don't do it. Another 7 or 8 months it took, and she is happy. She writes to me sometimes. That is the power of titiksha. Another part is that when your mind stops blaming, complaining, reacting in the world outside, your mind remains calm. You are always happy. Whether you get something from the world and you don't get something. What we think, pairs of opposite attacks us, and what we do, we swell when it is agreeable and we shrink when it is disagreeable. Titiksha is neither swelling nor shrinking. We understand in the wisdom that the world is full of pairs of opposites. Today my son would agree with me and tomorrow he will not. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Do you see that? You are in peace, you are ready for it. That will keep the mind totally free and help you absorb into a deeper meditation. What is the goal of this titiksha? We have started the 4th tapa, and this is the 4 steps of endurance. 4 steps of endurance will keep the mind free. They cause great obstacles in the journey of meditation. So ultimately, we come to the last point of the titiksha. Titiksha is equanimity. When you don't create any image inside about any person, about any event, about any situation, then what happens? The mind remains in the state of calmness. And in the state of the calmness, you take the world lightly. You know. The knowledge reveals in you. And once that knowledge is revealed in me, my relationship with my dad became so harmonious. So a couple of times he used to get angry. I said, Dad, should I bring a cup of tea for you? Then we will talk. Do you see the scenario, what used to happen? And the time came, he dared not to be angry and reactive. You see the other side of it. It means you are not teaching anyone, but you are teaching yourself and your mind. You're educating your mind. You're empowering your mind. So we meet hundreds of people every day in the modern life. Thought, speech, action. See that? Whether Daniel works in the office or the Stephen and the Jerry, David has their own business, the Lara works in the studio, anywhere. Thought, speech, and action. So we contemplate and reflect. We understand I need not to go back to the gossip. The moment you enter into the gossip, the mind becomes habitual, unconscious, and it will definitely react. What I have to do with a Republican or a Democrat, they both are my friends. They both are my clients. I have to be very, you see that? It is not playing with those people, but it is your mind is totally calm and peaceful. You have nothing to do with both of their position and labels. That is the way we should practice titiksha in our life. At the same time, we don't get what we want. Remember this. You can remember this phrase my master used to say many a times. What we want, we don't get it. What we get, we don't like. What we like, it doesn't remain forever. Think of it again and again. What we want, we don't get it. Oh, had I been born in a family where my parents used to love me, do you have a choice for that? You don't have a choice. No, my son should have behaved properly. Do you have a choice? It is his life. I can change. Remember this. What is that? What we want, we don't get it. So make a list what you have been wanting. And the mind says, I don't get it. You are going to react. You have to drop that reaction. Practice titiksha. What you get, we don't like. My master used to say, this Sangeeta remembers, are you given? My master used to tell a beautiful story. So one guy came who had nothing in terms of the money. Who is the richest dog in the world? Animals don't give a label who is the richest and the poorest. Do you see that? The logic in the argument to keep the mind cool and calm. Anyhow, so my master used to tell a story that he had nothing. He said, I have nothing. I ran from my house and I wanted to be a monk. Oh, so you have nothing. Okay, you have nothing. So do you see me through both your eyes? You see the argument. What we get, we don't like. We don't remember what we have. So I will pay you $10,000. Can you give me one eye? What we get, we don't like. We don't even remember. He said, okay, I'll pay you $20,000. Give me that eye. No, how can I give you? Give me $50,000. I'll give you. Can you give me that one eye? Not possible. How can you say you are poor? How can you say what you get and you don't like it? See that point. That is the way the mind should work in day-to-day life. That mind will stop being crazy. It will not run after the things that will cause pain. And the last point, what we like, that does not remain forever. So we have to reflect and contemplate. We should like that remains forever. We should not like that does not remain forever. Even you start thinking about it in your mind, you will see the mind remains cool and calm 24/7. These are the 4 principles of titiksha that removes lot of obstacles to move into the higher journey of meditation. So let us start our journey. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Body is steady. Mind is looking inside. Mind is looking inside. Where it is looking into the space, it is aware of the calmness. Just think about it. What is Shreyas? What is right and good? So, what is the definition of right and good? It is our essential nature. What is the essential nature of a sugar? Sweetness. What is our essential nature? Is permanent peace, happiness, love, wisdom. And with that principle, you can take over the mind. The moment the mind says, I'm stressed, mind, come on. How dare you stress when your nature is permanent peace and happiness? I'm simply saying you start thinking like this in your mind. Or my master always used to say, oh mind, be at peace, this will also pass. You did not have the stress yesterday. Today you have it. Tomorrow you will not have it. So the moment you think in that way, your stress level drops down. That is the power of this principle, known as the path of the Shreyas. So in the stage 1, the body is steady, mind is looking inside in the space at a point, and you experience the calmness. Being comfortable, let us settle down. Move the mind on the neck joint. Feel, be aware, and experience sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Shoulder joints. The mind is there, you feel sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Hip joint, sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. The entire body. Being carefree. Being carefree that you know in the field of awareness that these thoughts are not you and separate from you. So we gave couple of examples, metaphors, the birds flying in the sky. Can the bird fly without the sky or without the space? No. So is the space first or the birds? The space is first. So in the mental space, this mental space is first. Then we have the thoughts. So I'm aware of the space, about the thoughts that is coming and going in the mind. It takes time. It is one of the most beautiful principles. To translate that, it takes time. Then what is going to happen? You wake up in the morning, a thought of distress comes, and you realize it is separate from you. And you take the right action without getting upset. Being casual. Being casual is, we see being casual, natural. When all your activities are complete, late in the evening, and you say, now let me relax, that is the state of being casual. How I can do it day to day, every moment? Let the mind does the work. You remain free and casual. As a play and a fun. We learned in the second step. And now we move to the second stage. We still continue to purify the mind. The time will come when I will speak of a principle and the mind absorbs that principle and you are already in the higher state of awareness. That means the mind is purified. So purification takes a long time. It comes by listening again and again and again, and also by the steps we are doing it. So looking inside the belly button, in the space, point in the space is the calmness, and start breathing. Start breathing long, short, long in the hissing breath from both the nostrils into the belly. Let us do it a little longer. Continue. Continue. Today we are doing the little longer breath, and the hissing sound is there. But keep our mind inside the belly button in the space to see what happens. And stop this breath and start breathing deep, silent, and slow. Deep, silent, slow inhalation. Always silent. Remember this. Anytime the breath makes a noise, means the habitual mind has returned. So inhalation is deep, silent, and slow. But exhalation, you have to do the humming sound, and where the focus should be, deep inside the forehead. We have understood a couple of weeks ago that humming should directly influence the reason entire forehead. I'll make it you understand again after this session. So continue. Every time you inhale, it takes a long time to inhale, deep, silent, and slow. The body remains steady. The time comes, even if the body moves, the mind is inside. Doesn't make any difference. And breathing out. Louder, deeper, longer humming. Every inhalation and exhalation are deeper than the previous breath, previous humming. Continue, my friends. Beautiful. Continue. And stop the humming sound, but continue breathing deep, silent, and slow. When you inhale, move the mind from the crown of the head into the spine, reaching tailbone. When you exhale, the mind is moving from the tailbone to the top of the head in the spine. And what do you see in the spine? The space. So during inhalation, when the mind is moving from the crown of the head in the spine, you see the space. Drop Om Shanti. Space Om Shanti, space Om Shanti, space Om Shanti, space. 5 Om Shanti with an interval during inhalation, and 5 times Om Shanti during exhalation. And you will discover that you experience variety of sensations in the body, tingling, freezing, uh, uh, heat and the sweating and the cool. Why? Because this mind with the prana is merging together with the step that you're doing. You may have some visions and colors. Let them come, let them go. Any experience cannot stay permanently. Understand that. So we recognize, we accept, but we continue the journey. Very soothing, deep, silent, slow inhalation and exhalation. That is your action. And you undergo those experiences. Sometimes you may see as if you're merged with the space inside and outside, means bodilessness. Don't say out of the body experience. Maybe a phrase good to express, but if you go deeper, out of the body experience, and now leave that Om Shanti. Move the mind inside the right arm. Continue breathing deep, silent, and slow, being aware of the space inside. Now we are not doing with the mantra, it is the nyasa, the stage 3. that helps the mind to withdraw completely from the body. So, Nyasa practice, breath, deep silence, slow is your car, mind is the driver, highway is the space inside the right arm. Now do it inside the left arm. What I'm asking you to do. The highway is empty inside. When you see that emptiness, it's wonderful. The mind is going inside. It is dropping its impression. That is why we do the nyasa. Nyasa, one meaning is purification, and sannyasa is all around purification. It is not scanning the body. Remember, sometimes we use the word scanning. Now inside the right leg. Beautiful. I appreciate all your commitment. Now inside the left leg. So you see your breath is the car, mind is the driver, highway is the space within. And when you see that space, no other thoughts and images, you are there, you're going deeper. You may not experience that. Now, inside the spine, during inhalation, the mind drops from the crown of the head inside to the tailbone, and mind rises during exhalation. In the space inside, and you are not in a hurry. It is a smooth driving, means the breath is deep, silent, and slow. And I'll leave the step also. Allow the breath to return to its normal state. And the stage four, keep looking deep inside the head or the heart in the space any thought enters. What we have been doing? We were superimposing Om Shanti. And I gave you a simile for that. I come to your house and you say who you are. Well, for all the questions I answer, Om Shanti. So what happens to your mind? Your mind withdraws completely. So instead of Om Shanti, why don't you do it in an active way? Oh mind, be at peace, this will also pass. Non verbally. So Om Shanti, dropping Om Shanti, superimposing is a passive way of doing it. And you are aware of the thought enters into the mind. Non-verbally, you say, okay, the thought has come, it has to go. Oh mind, be at peace, this will also pass. What a beauty, that's the way. We need a commitment, that is all. We have a commitment for pleasure, we have a commitment for meditation. We have to shift that. And leave this step also. Stage four. Moving the mind naturally inside the crown of the head, dropping Om and seeing that Om merges into the space. Then walking the mind inside the forehead, Om, merging inside the heart, merging the belly button, merging from top to the belly button, from belly button to the top. Every time you drop home and you see merging, a drop of a water merges into an ocean. Where it is gone, it has gone nowhere. It has become an ocean. That is the journey we have. We are limited. We feel that we are limited, but we are not. You see the step? And now looking at the breath going in, Om, coming out, Om. But with every Om, the mind should merge into the inner space when the breath going in and outer space when the breath comes out. Om is a symbol, one meaning. It is neither waking, dream, sleeping state, but beyond the three state. Where is beyond the three state? Meditative state. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences and bring the hands down. We have two things to go, sharing your experiences and any question. How are you, Daniel?
I'm fine. I feel that like every meditation, I'm more focused
Good.
and it's quiet and calm and like super calm. And there are no, so I don't have any issues which disturb me during meditation. What makes very calm, and I like it.
You like it. You see that? You're making your life more peaceful, calmer. You are responsible. That's a very good way to express it. So the commitment brings that result. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. A very quiet, peaceful meditation that left. It was just pure blankness, and as I came out of meditation, I had such a sense of peace and gratefulness.
Grateful.
Um,
Beautiful.
so, thank you.
It's a beautiful. Your commitment is bringing the result. How are you, Terry?
I had thoughts the whole time,
Okay.
um,
Oh,
but
mind,
I
be at peace. This
tried
will
to
also
keep.
pass.
Hmm?
Oh, mind, be at peace. This will also pass.
That was the point when I. That was the point when I had a little success actually with that phrase.
Good.
But I tried to keep my thoughts on the topic, and I do have a question, but
Yeah.
I could save it for the end.
Okay. Anand, you can ask the question and I will answer in the end.
Is the breath part of the body or part of the space?
part of the body and part of the space. Good question. We'll answer that. How are you,
Okay.
Lara?
I had a really amazing experience. It was very quiet and very spacious, but grounded or balanced, almost is what it felt. And so it was like I almost didn't feel the body. And then every once in a while, I'd get an itch. And it was like to bring me back into the body, I think, and not go too far. But it was just very expansive today and quiet.
It's definitely, it's a deeper. Very good. Your commitment is bringing the result. So how are you, Jerry and David?
Right from the first breathing exercise, my mind was very obedient, and it continued to be very obedient through the rest of the meditation. And I the best way to describe it, I was in Om the entire time. It was very, very, to Stephen's point, very peaceful.
Very peaceful.
So,
beautiful. Beautiful. That's yeah. Your commitment is bringing the result. How are you, Jerry?
I'm good. I love the message today. Oh, mind, be at peace. This shall too pass, or this shall pass.
Yeah.
Because this will also pass. I think that as sometimes, if we can see those times that maybe we feel a struggle, that we can look at the opportunity. And I love.
Yeah, you're getting it.
The meditation, to the breathing, the change in the breathing that you implemented today, my heart raced. But I noticed that there was this calmness there, and that transitioned into coming with just sensation, vibration, and then the Om Shanti.
Yeah.
So it was great. I just felt like it kept going deeper and deeper with lots of experience.
Beautiful, beautiful, Jerry. You know, it's all your commitment is bringing the result. How are you, Sangeeta? Sangeeta is always shy, so you need not to be shy. You can attend all the sessions. So don't think all your contribution goes to another person in India. I'm not taking. So you can join all the sessions. Don't shy. क्या हाल है?
सर बहुत अच्छा है और बहुत पीसफुल था, और एक तरह का एक्सपेंशन फील हो रहा था कि कुछ अंदर कुछ एक्सपैंड हो रहा है, तो अच्छा लग रहा था.
That expansion is definitely is a deeper state. You see, based on our principles of Eastern wisdom, we have 5 layers. We see 5 sheets. First, understand there are 3 bodies. What are the 3 bodies? One is the physical. Second is the subtle body. Third is the causal body. So what we say, what is the cause of the physical body? It is the subtle body. And what is the subtle body? The subtle body consists of energy body, that means the breath, and it consists of mind, intellect, memory, and ego. What is the cause of this subtle body? It is the causal body. What is causal body made up of? It is made up of ignorance. So it contains all the past impressions, which is responsible for the human birth in this life. That is one way to understand. One point that is very important to understand. The physical body is present in the causal body. It is not the other way around. And the causal body is present in the subtle body is present in the causal body. So that gives you a little one part of the answer. Now consider, we have 5 layers of the body according to Eastern wisdom. The outermost layer is physical, made up of matter. Second layer is made up of prana, means energy. Third layer is made up of mind and the memory. Fourth layer is made up of intellect and ego. Fifth layer is made up of anandamay. It is also known as ignorance. So you'll find the answer, again the same thing. The energy body contains the physical body. The mental body is the third one that contains the physical and the energy body. The intellectual and the ego body contains all the 3 before. And the fifth innermost body contains all the 4. So that gives you an answer of this. Just think of it. We think otherwise. What we think? Oh, as if the breath is in the physical body. It is just the opposite. Why it is just the opposite? In meditation, you feel the sensation in the body. That is also the prana. Why we don't feel the sensation during the day? Because the mind is running outside. It hardly cares what is near to us. It always cares what is too far, sometimes not achievable, pertaining to the desire. That is why we don't feel those sensations during the day. If you maintain your awareness, you will experience the energy body all around you. So normally, in an average person, that energy body is permeating or is present around 6 inches all around your physical body. And just after meditation or during the meditation, this energy body extends to maybe 2 or 3 feet all around you. That prevents anything to come out. That is how you express that you are in peace and happiness. So I could see when you say that. No, not long, but briefly I answered that question. So let's